some of the students who might not be around available for a lesson. Okay, today we are going to go through the 2021 paper 2 selected questions, almost the second half of all the papers that is down here, the question. Okay, so just let me start with the first few questions. I'll just show you the answers for the first two. Okay, although this question had already come up before, the chances of it coming again for paper 2 not very high lah. But just in case, maybe they can test different type of skills related to factors. So you still need to do a little bit of short, quick revision lah. Okay, so you can take a look at the questions over here. Next one, calculations. This one is just a calculation of the numbers, shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, this one is about time difference. You can use your calculator to help you calculate the time. So the time difference between these two cities itself, Christchurch and London. So you just need to take this timing and this timing, you subtract each other, then you find the relevant timing. And oh no, this one is not subtraction, it's ahead. So London is some hours ahead of Christchurch. Okay, so you add the time difference to Christchurch timing will do. Then for this one, exchange rate itself, right? You just need to find, they gave you in terms of pound, and then the pound is related to New Zealand dollars. So you need to do conversion 2 times, right? Then the final answer, remember for money, is 2 decimal places. All right, okay, so these are the few basic questions that you should know how to do. Now I'm going to start on the questions that I need to focus for today. Okay, question number 3, graph question. The volume of an ice cream at T minutes itself is given to be this formula. Okay, and then these are some of the corresponding values from T equals to 0 and 20. But before we even begin, let me do a quick run through of the question. Take a look at the understanding the context of the question. We are talking about volume ice cube, T minutes per T minutes, right? So in this case, when you draw your y-axis, this will be your volume. Here they gave you the volume, right? Yes, this will be cm cube. Then this one here will be time in minutes, T in minutes, right? So when you have this kind of question, I do not know what does the graph look like or whichever, but things that you should understand or need to know. First one, y equals to the nx plus c, right? The n tells you the gradient, right? So in this case, what is my gradient? Gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In this case, my y-axis, the units is cm cube. The x-axis, the t-axis, the units is minutes, right? T minutes. So when you're talking about gradient, this is talking about a certain volume per minute. Right, volume per minute. So when you have a positive value, it means the volume will be increasing by how many cm cube per minute. If you have a negative gradient, that means the volume will be decreasing at how many cm cube per minute. Next thing, we also need to understand what is C. C is my y-intercept. Okay, C is my y-intercept, meaning when x is equal to 0. But in this case, my x-axis is time t in minutes. So it means when t equals to 0, when t equals to 0, got many things already. You are talking about initial, okay, initial time at the first place when it first started, initial. So when t equals to 0, and my y-axis starts talking about volume. So I'm talking about initial volume. Okay, so this y-intercept will give me the initial volume for your answer. Okay, so now then the next part of the question, they ask us to draw the scale. So yesterday, Hudson did mention, ask us to go through how to draw scale, right? Okay, so if let's say I did not give me the scale, they just give me the axis. This one says 1 cm to represent 1 unit. 1 cm is how many small squares? 5 small squares. Okay, or you can take the ruler and you measure. So if it's 1 cm to 1 unit for horizontal t-axis, what is horizontal? Horizontal is here. This is yeah, the below, okay, the one horizontal line. Okay, on the then now they say 1 cm to represent 1 unit, and they want a scale 0 all the way to 10. So that means every 1 cm, which is 5 small squares, will increase by 1 unit, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this one will be the
people do have construction again, right?
No, not very likely, because paper 1 already tested, so they will not waste marks to test on the same scale again, right? So yeah, should not be. But you just bring in case if there is anything that maybe like need to measure 90 degree, or not very likely for compass, but protractor or whichever, just in case. All right, so in this case, this one is 1 cm to represent 1 unit. Then of course there are other types with 2 cm to represent a number of units. We need to go through that question later. But before I continue, this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 squares represent 1 unit. So when 5 square represent 1 unit, 1 small square will represent by 1 divided by 5.
0.2.
2 unit. Yes. Okay, it is important for us to know, because later when you read the scale or the numbers, we must know how to read the numbers. Okay, now vertical y-axis, the vertical v-axis. So this is my vertical. So this will be my v-axis, which is in terms of cm cubed. They want me to draw all the way from 0 to 50, right? If not, then you should also observe your question of the table values on your own. Draw until where? Stop at which number? The largest v value over here is 50. So my largest value will be 50. So then they say 1 cm to represent 5 unit. 1 cm represent 5 unit. So 5 small square will go by 5, 10, 15, 20. Let me finish drawing. 25, 30. Okay, so I will squeeze everything between 0 to 50. Then we quickly plot our points. So this point, what is this point here? This point here, the first point will be block 0, level 50. So we are at block 0, then take the escalator or lift, go up to level 50. Okay, next one will be the second point, 240. Block 2, level 40. So block 2 is here, then take all the lift all the way to level 40. Then the next one, 4, I found this to be 30 already, 4, 30, 6, 20. Can you all do me a favor? Can you just read me the number? 6 is 20. The next point is what point?
The next one is
8 is 10. 8, 10, then last one, 10, 0.
0.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so we have this graph over here. If you realize that if your graph is not a straight line, for set 1 only draw straight line. So if your graph become not a straight line, that means got some problem somewhere already. Then you better make sure you check, okay? Any of points maybe you draw may be wrong. All right, then now so we have this already. After you draw the line, please make sure you label. Yes, equation of the line is v equals to -5 bracket 10 minus t. V equals to -5. What again? T minus 10. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry.
Is it a must to label?
Yes, please do label everything. Right, you finish drawing already, label everything.
If you want to find the gradient,
wait, so how many marks will be minus if we never write the label?
Sorry again?
One person talk at a time, please.
If you don't label, the whole question itself, the labeling will -1 mark. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Teacher,
so,
if you want to find gradient with the X and Y method, you take any 2 random points on the graph, right? The line.
Yeah, on the line. But since we already have a table, we can choose values that are on the table itself. So for example, like this one here, you got a table of values. You can choose this one, all the numbers here that are already given to you. Then you won't make a mistake.
Accidentally put the wrong number, will we still get marks?
No marks, because question only 1 mark. So if you get a wrong answer, then it's no marks already. Yes. Okay, question number part C, state the gradient of the graph.
-5.
Yes, please let me talk. Okay. All right. So this one itself, there are two different methods over here that you need to do. First one, what you can do is using the concept y equals to mx plus c. So first, let me expand this. This one will be -5t plus 50, right? So if I'll compare this to the equation, general equation of a straight line, y equals to mx plus c, the m is the gradient -5, right? So this one, m is the gradient -5. Or the second method, you can use the points that is on the graph, on the table itself. For example, 0, 50 to 40 to find your gradient. So your gradient, the equation y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In this case, is the volume. So it's 50 minus 40 divided by 0 minus 2, is it? Did I do this correct? Did I write correctly? Yeah. This one is 2, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So this one 10 divided by -2, answer is -5. You'll still get the same answer. But since the question actually mentioned the word state, it's actually supposed they want you to observe the question and then write down the answer straight away. So technically speaking, this answer, method 1 is the preferred method. But if you really don't know how to do, then you just do method 2 lah, better than no answer at all. Okay, then next one, using your graph. Please do not do calculations. The moment you write calculations on this portion, it will be 0 already, even if you get the correct answer. So now the question is, find the volume of ice cream after 2.6 minutes. What are you supposed to do? T equals to 2.6 because they say 2.6 minutes, right? Yes, you must draw your dotted line. So the problem is, what did we do for our numbers just now? Oh, we calculated 1 square is 0.2 unit. So 2.6 is actually 1, 2, 3. This
That was
is the
on the
number.
wrong paper.
Huh?
I was on the wrong paper the whole time.
Then how will I know? I can't help you. So you need to check the correct paper lah. Okay.
Middle
Then
on the line isn't dotted.
I draw line, then later I erase, then you'll be dotted already, right? Yay. This is the magic of iPad, right? The wonders of iPad.
So cool.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I
Pencil,
got
then
the
you
correct one.
erase.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this case, don't talk so much. Focus. So in this case, what is the unit here? This one is talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 square represent 5 unit. 1 square will represent 1 unit. Okay, so in this case, this one will be 35, 30, 36, about 37, like that, plus minus, depending on your graph. But most likely, all of us should get similar answer because the line is a straight line.
36 is
Okay. Sorry,
6 can.
36 can. My graph may not be accurate, so it can be 36.5. Wait, let me see.
Your graph cannot be accurate.
Yes, what is the problem? Y'all have so many things question. Y'all think that y'all can answer everything. Then next time y'all tell me what is the correct answer. Then I don't need to explain, all right? Really not. I wouldn't know what is the correct answer, the accurate number. If you want to draw a straight line on depending on your own graph itself, I may exactly have 36.5. But based on my iPad that I see, it's very difficult for me to draw straight lines like that. Okay, so the answer could be 36.5, right? Depending on the graph. You really have to draw on the hard copy paper itself for you to know what is the correct answer. Okay, next question. If not else, the thing that I can cheat down here, how do I actually cheat? Although I already tell students cannot do the calculation, you're supposed to use your graph. But if I want to ensure that my answer is correct, what I can do v equals to -5. The t is now 2.6 minus the 10. Somebody use a calculator, please. Tell me what's the answer. Oh, where's my calculator? Hello? Quick. What's our calculator answer? The calculator answer, I got my
37.5.
is
Wait.
my calculated answer is 37. So my actual answer, my original graph that I drew, the number here, 37 is the correct answer. Okay, but of course, I cannot show this calculation to the teacher during my examination. I will erase this away. I'm not going to show the examiner my answer. I will tell him that I read it from the graph. But because I calculated and I know the number is 37, so I'm going to fake my answer, not fake my answer. I'm going to force fit and make sure my answer is really the correct answer, 37. Okay, next thing, similarly, for the next question, find the time taken when the volume of the ice cream is 17 cm square. So you draw from your graph, go to 17 cm on your graph, the volume, volume,
Then you draw
17. Yes, so then you draw. So 17 is from here. Okay, then you draw your line. Okay, if you are not sure whether what is the correct answer, right? Again, you can do your calculations to help you estimate. It looks like it's in the middle of somewhere. Okay, and my line isn't
6.25.
yeah, I think it's also 6.25, but I'm not very sure. Okay. So if let's say on your own graph, you're not very sure what is your answer, you can work backwards on the graph paper. So you have 17 equals to -5, t minus 10, 17 equals to -5, t plus 50. -5t equals to 17 minus 50, t equals to 17 minus 50 divided by -5. Then you should be able to get an answer. Right, then the answer, my actual answer is 6.6. So I estimate my answer to be about 6.5 or 6.6. Plus or minus, they might accept 0.1. But if the teacher is very stingy, they don't want to accept a range of answer, they only want one particular answer. Let's say they only want 6.6. That means I need to go back and make sure my graph ends at 6.6 instead. Okay, so this is how we cheat, not just cheat, make sure we get 100% accuracy for our answer. So you see, so when I have answers that I'm not very sure of, I can write them on my graph paper and then calculate backwards, but don't show the teacher that I'm doing it using calculation. Okay, next question, what does the meaning of the constant term in this case? So this one I already explained just now. If I would expand it out, okay, this one will become in the form y equals to mx plus c. This number 10 over here is actually my y-intercept. So when it's talking about y-intercept, the x-axis will be equals to 0, which is t is equals to 0. When t is equal to 0, it's talking about the initial what? When the time equals 0, this is the v, the volume. So it's talking about the initial volume of the ice cream is 50 cm cubed. Okay, so that's the initial volume of the ice cream. Next one, explain why the function is not a good representation of the volume of the ice cream after 10 minutes. Now, well, we already know from our table, the table over here, it says when time t equals to 10 minutes over here, the volume is equals to 0, right? So that means at time t minutes,
There's
there's
no more ice cream.
Yes, correct. At time t minutes, there will be no more ice cream. Then if I want after 10 minutes, the volume of ice cream cannot be a negative volume at all. So in this case, it's not going to be a good representation after 10 minutes. Okay? Now, don't need to write, just understand. Later, I send out the soft copy, then you're going to study. Right, next one, question on number pattern on this question itself. Now, explain why q is a positive integer. Why q plus 2q plus 3 is always an odd number. First thing, when I have 2 multiplied to any number, 2 times any number is always even, right? And then they put me an even number, 2q is the even number, right? Plus the number 3, which is an odd number, the sum of an even and an odd number will always be odd. So in this case, 2q plus 3 is an odd number. All right. Okay. Next question, write down an expression for the next odd number. So well, we know odd number skips by 2, so we add 2 to it. Then that will be the 2 cubed plus 5. And they want the number greater than, so you just add the 2. If they want a number smaller than, then you just minus the 2. Okay? Now, next part, the terms of a sequence. Now, this is the type of the sequence that might be slightly longer and they need you to identify different patterns, right? So the first one, term 1, you notice this is term 1, 1 square, term 2, 2 square, term 3, 3 square, term 4, 4 square. So they want an expression for term 6 and they ask you to evaluate. So term 6 will be equals to, oh no, wait. Yes, 6 square. So in this case, since they want me to write, to be safe, I will write everything on my paper. I do not know whether they want an answer or they want a whole expression. They did say write down an expression. So they may not want just the final number. They may want the writing, the how it's being represented. So to be safe, I write down the whole long list of the pattern itself. Okay, next one, minus 0. This is 1, but this is 0. This is 2, but this is 1. 3, but this is 2. 4, but this is 3. So this one is 6. This one will be minus 5 squared. Okay. Then equals to, then you get a number. Well, you can definitely use your calculator. 6 square minus 5 square. What do you get? You get the number 11. But then I can observe another different pattern. Observe 1 go to 3. 3 go to 5.
Odd
5
number.
go to 7. Odd number, or rather plus 2.
Plus 2
plus 2. So the next one will be plus 2 will be 9. Then the next one plus 2 will be 11. Technically correct. So there are 2 ways. Number 1, I know the number. I can use my calculator, get the answer. Second way, I can observe a pattern. Okay. Then let me ask you, for this pattern, 1, 3, 5, 7, this is plus 2. So the n term will be plus 2n. What is the number I need to put in front so that I plus 2?
Negative
I
1.
plus 2. Negative 1. That means I minus 1, right? So minus 2, sorry. I minus 2 down here. I get the number negative 1. So in order to write it properly, I write it in a nicer way. I'll get 2n minus 1. They are the same. So this 2n minus 1 actually summarize the n term for all this column over here in yellow, the one that I highlighted in yellow. So in this case, when the question say find an expression in terms of n for the nth term, the n term. So I'm going to follow the first method. The first method is Tn, this is Tn, then it will be equals to n square minus this one, the number from, how do I get 5 from 6? How did I get 5 from 6? Suddenly no answer. How did I get 5 from 6? Hello?
6 minus 1. 6 minus 1.
N
Yes,
minus 1.
correct. So I get
N
n
minus
minus
1
1 whole thing square. But this is not a full expression. Remember, Tn something something square equal to a number. So they actually want a second part of this. So there are either 2 methods. Number 1, method 1, what I can do, I need to do expansion part by part. This expansion is going to be a bit long. Let me just go through it. Okay, this one will be n square, but when I have n minus 1 whole thing square, it means I repeat this bracket 2 times. Okay, but then got negative sign here. So to be careful, I'm afraid that I make mistake. So I shall put a bracket. So this is n square minus n minus n minus 1. Okay, but you all may not have known how to do this yet or whichever, right? So technically speaking, this method 1 may not work if you are not able to do your expansion carefully enough. Okay, so then the next part of the question, then I need to simplify this n square, and then the negative become positive. Plus n, yeah, did I write wrongly? Then plus 1. So then you get, the cancel away 2 and plus 1. Is it? Did I write wrongly? I got 2 and minus 1. Wait, give me a minute. Did I count wrongly? Oh, sorry, negative and negative is positive. See lah, I also do wrong. Okay, -1. But then this method down here, when you do the expansion, it's not going to be very easy because I may not know how to do the expansion over this portion correctly, and I make high chance to make careless mistake. So the best way is I should not do this method. What am I going to do? I'm going to use method number 2. Who is here? Oh, Chen Xin. I'm going to use method number 2, where I link the first part of this. So I don't want method 1 really, because expansion may not work very well for me. I'm going to keep this part of the expansion, the first part. My method 2 is I'm going to observe this portion over here has a pattern. And this pattern, I already found it to be the number pattern 2n minus 1. So I'll take this whole thing to equate it directly to 2n minus 1. So that is, yes.
Sure, I don't understand it.
Okay, let me repeat this again. Just now I asked the question over here, right? You notice you have your first part, this one is t n squared minus n minus 1 whole thing squared. This part you understand?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, this part you understand, right? Then you notice in your expression got the first part, second part, and the third part, right? I need to equate to something over here, right? So I'm going to use method number 2 now. How to get this third portion over here, which is a number that we have highlighted. Observe the pattern. From 1 go to 3, 3 go to 5, 5 go to 7. 1 go to 3 plus 2. 3 go to 5. Correct. Kaushik, did I explain this just now? Will you pay attention? Okay. So this one here, in this case, for this portion, the one highlighted in yellow, what is the n term for this portion that is highlighted in yellow color? I did a plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So it's plus 2n, correct? Then I need to know what term is it in front that for me to plus 2 to give me 1. So in this case, I need to minus 2. I get the number -1. Rewriting this in proper algebra, I'll get 2n minus 1. I just put the 2n in front. So this is the portion for my yellow color number pattern itself. So I will match this up together with 2n minus 1 over here. So since they want the whole expression, they do not want just an answer. So I should copy the whole line of expression of the number pattern for them.
So by the way, it wasn't me who asked it.
Oh, not you to ask. Then it's who? How Zhen?
No, it was me.
Whoever, I also don't know who. Okay.
It's me,
So
Yao Ming.
this yes, Xiaomin. Okay, then just pay attention, okay? So in this case, so this one is here. You have the whole expression for the n term on this side. Okay, next part of the question. Okay, just to highlight, there are other parts of the skills that you need to know how to do. For example, is a sequence in a term in this sequence, a term in the sequence. Okay, for example, I give you
It must be an integer so that if it's not
yes,
integer, then it's not term.
correct. So if you have such a question like the second half of it or whichever, then you need to find find n. All right. So let's say, for example, is the term I anyhow put a number maybe 101. Is it inside this sequence? So I can take 101, I equate it. Am I going to equate it to the n squared minus n? Or should I equate it to this yellow color portion? Which one is easier?
Yellow color.
Yellow
color.
Correct. So use the yellow color portion. This is easier. So in this case, this is 2n. This one bring over become 102. Then divide by 2. N is equals to 51. Yes, since n is an integer. Explain. Since n is an integer. Okay, therefore, the term 101 is a term in the sequence. If it's not an integer, then it's not in the sequence. Simple, straightforward. Can Next part. Oh, sorry. Next part, we are talking about polygon. Now, this question itself is trying to link together with quadrilateral. And you notice the second part, they will ask you about name the special name of the quadrilateral, which we mentioned to prove lines. But I thought this one appeared in paper 1, something like that. They ask you to show 2 lines are parallel, right? So I'm not sure whether it will come out again or not. But the part whereby they ask you that the angle, it may not be just a quadrilateral, it may be say in a pentagon, hexagon, okay, or but they may not tell you it's regular. So you must remember the total sum of interior angle is n minus 2 times 180. This is the golden formula you must remember. N is the number of sides. So do study. Pentagon is 5 sides. Hexagon?
Hexagon is 6 sides.
6. Heptagon?
7.
Then what is 10 sides? 10 sides is called what?
Decagon.
Decagon. Okay, decagon is 10 sides. So in this case, you might have other shapes of polygons, whichever that they ask you, oh, the total sum of the angle is equals to something. So you form an equation, solve the answer. Okay, so and then for this part, I already went through something similar for paper 1. So it came out, you find all the angles and you realize that, oh, the opposite angles of each are equal to each other. So when the opposite angles are equal, then most likely
Alternate
this is there's no alternate angles here. This one, all the opposite angles are equal. There's no alternate angles. So this one is just using opposite angles of parallelogram to show that therefore this is a parallel line. Okay, so this one is a parallelogram. Of course, you can have other things such as rhombus but okay rhombus, I think don't know where it come out again. This one, question 5a, plug in the number, something to highlight over here. This one, -4 whole thing square. Please, when you put -4 square and you write -4 whole thing square into your calculator, the calculator will give you different value. So adding the brackets is very important. If you are not sure how to do, put bracket and bracket everything, then plug in the numbers, then you work out your answers. Okay, next part. Okay, this one need to explain. Jane pays a fixed amount of Q monthly for her normal subscription phone. Wonder if you remember I mentioned about y equals to mx plus c previously a few times before. When you have a plus c here, this is something that is similar to your fixed cost. That means when the number of units that I use is 0, I still need to pay a fixed cost for it. So in this case, this question is going along that line where you need to interpret where is the fixed cost and what is the unit, the rate of the charge, right? So in this case, the fixed amount of Q dollar, this is going to be my Q dollar for normal subscription phone. Additional talk time is 2 cents per minute. Cents, 2 cents per minute. Idea come from your graph. We need to understand the gradient. This one T is going to be in minute. This one is going to be your money. Hey, wait a moment. Is it going to be dollar or is it going to be cents? Is it going to be dollar or is it going to be cents? We must follow the question. Question say, let P be the monthly bill in dollars. That means they want everything in dollar. So this 2 cents per minute, I need to change it to 2 cents.
$0.02.
0 what?
0.02.
0.02. And this one rate per minute, this is actually my gradient. Okay, so this one is my gradient for 0.02 cents for the number of minute. R is the number of additional talk time. Then now they say P is the price. So in this case, my answer for this one, the question is P equals to 0.02 R plus Q. Or you can write the other way around, doesn't matter.
Sure.
Okay. Yes.
I don't understand. Why must it be y equal mx plus c?
This one is a general equation of a straight line. If from chapter 7, chapter 11 onwards, you have not understand why is y equals ms plus c, then I cannot help you. Kaushik, must you ask such a question at this point of time? What value does it add to you? Next one, find the total monthly phone bill in dollars that Jane have to pay if she uses an additional of 1.5 hours. Look very carefully. This one, R is the number of minutes, but this is 1.5 hours of talk time. What do I need to do? I need to change this to number of minutes.
Minutes.
Yeah, so 1.5 of an hour is how many minutes?
90.
Thank you very much. It's 90 minutes. So what does she have to pay? And a monthly subscription fee. So for subscription fee, I have to pay $30 already. Then I need to pay for my additional talk time. Additional talk time was, the rate is 2 cents per minute. 2 cents per minute. So it's 0.02. The number of minutes is 90. Right, then you find your total price, the money phone bill for that month that she have to pay. So 0.02 times 90 plus $30, that will give you
1.8.
Thank you. 80, all right, 80, okay, money dollars to DP, dollars and cents. Okay, next one, next question. Okay, this question over here is talking about algebra, linking an equation, but it comes in terms of price, quantity, and cost. So the price of a t-shirt or the shirt, so I need to have a shirt. For the price of the shirt is $10. More than, wait a minute. This one question is $10 more than 1/8 of a pair of shoes. Oh, so I got another one for shoes as well. Then they give me, letting the price for a pair of shoes be X. Oh, the shoes is X dollar. So what is the price of the shirt? Price of shirt is $10 more. So 10 plus $10 more than 1/8 the price of a pair of shoe. So it's 1/8 the price of the pair of a shoe. So this one is the price for one shirt. Okay, then Ali paid a total of this one for 2 shirts and then 5 pairs of shoes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take price multiplied by quantity to give me the cost. So in this case, this will be 2 times the whole of 10 plus 1/8x. Expand out, I will have 5 plus 1/4 of my x. Then this one here will be simply 5x. The question says the total is 744.50. So I take this plus this. Okay, form the equation, then you can get your answer. Let me see what's my final answer. You can solve the numbers together. 1/4 with 5, add together is 5 and 1/4. But algebra, no mixed number. Write it in improper fraction. Okay, use your calculator, add the number together, write it in proper fraction. Then I'll put my numbers over to the other side. So I'll minus away to no. Did I write correctly? My answer, this answer is different. Did I multiply wrongly? Oh,
So is the answer 27?
Yeah, you did.
this one is 2 times 10. Alamak, what am I doing? 2 times 10 is 20. I keep thinking it's half times 10. This one is 20, sorry. No wonder, different from my answer. Okay, so after I minus 724.50, then you don't want the 21/4, you divide by 21/4, then you get your number for your value for your x. Okay, this is the number of shirt. This is the price for the pair of shoe, but they want the price of a shirt. So must remember to find the price shirt. Okay, 10 plus 1/8 of the price of the shoe, then you get your answer $27.25. Okay, So should be doable. Just need to write down this down you're working properly. Please refrain from writing numbers and numbers, but no description. Please at least write some kind of description where the teacher can understand what you are writing. Okay, next page. This one, regular pentagon. Pentagon, how many sides?
5.
5. Yes, they say regular, so n equals to 5. So they say find stating your reasons if there is any. So in this case, not much reason, just show the working. So memorize the formula, n minus 280 divided by
180, right?
yes, correct. So in this case, 108.
Oh, my
So
chair.
now,
I
so now
saved
if
down my chair.
this is 108, this is also 108. That means I want to find n. That will give me 360 minus 108. 108, that will give me 144. Angles at a point. Question, 2 marks. 2 marks. What do you think the 2 mark is for? 1 mark is for the reason. No reason, minus 1 mark. Okay, next one. Additional pentagon are formed to form a closed ring. That means they want to close this portion up lah. So if they want to close it portion up and then it's all made up of regular pentagon, that means this is the interior angle of the polygon. I need to know how many sides. Okay, the how many number of polygons will be the how many sides. So I can use 2 different methods. Method number 1, I can do my interior angle 144. No, sorry, n minus 2. The number of sides I don't know, n minus 2 times 180 over the n equals to the interior angle 144. Cross multiply and expand. Subtract away. Then n equals to 10. I found my n is equals to 10. This method 1. Or you can do method 2.
Exterior angle.
Yes. Interior angle is 144. Exterior angle will be 180 minus 144, which gives you 36 degree. Then number of sides equals to 360 divided 36, which is 10 sides. Now, a word of question, I need to read the question. They want the question total number of pentagons to form the closed ring. Sometimes the
10
question
times 5.
no need, just 10 will do. 10 pentagon. 10
Oh,
pentagon.
okay.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes the question may ask you how many pentagons, more pentagons need to be added. Then you probably need to read, oh, there are already 3 pentagons here. How many more do I need to add? I need to take 10 minus 3. Sometimes got that one extra small step in the question. So you just need to read what is it that they want. So in this case, the question asks for the total number. So just 10, no problem. But if the question asks for how many additional polygons do I need to add, then I need to take 10 minus the existing 3, which is 7. Can? Okay, take note of that. Now, this one was what I mentioned yesterday to find the total surface area. If I want to find the total surface area for this one, please find the individual surfaces. Okay, things that we need to take note whenever it's related to a circle. Number 1, the radius. So this whole thing is 24. Radius will be, what's the radius?
24 divided by 2, 12.
12. Yes. So one thing about the radius, okay, this whole thing is the radius, this whole thing is the radius. This part is also the radius. So if this portion is also the radius, this is also 12 cm. Then what do I need to do? Don't assume 25 divided by 2. No, because this perpendicular height down here is 25 minus 12 to give you 13 cm. So that is going to be the perpendicular height for my let me draw properly. Trapezium. Yes, correct. Okay, so if we do not minus or we don't know that this radius is worked this way, then we cannot find the answer. All right. So now to find the total surface area for this question, let us work out very quickly the uniform cross-sectional area first. Uniform cross-sectional area is made up of sectional area made up of the trapezium. What are the 2 sides of the trapezium? The 2 parallel sides?
6 and 24.
So half bracket
6 plus 24.
Times the perpendicular height. We found the perpendicular height to be the number 13. Plus, then there's a semicircle. Semicircle, remember to put half, okay? Pi r squared, 12 squared. Then you go and calculate your answer for this one. I got my number 421.19. Okay,
When will you mark the math paper?
I'm not the one that's marking the math paper.
Oh, so it's all marking, all the papers marking on marking day?
Huh? No, I'm not marking the math paper for this one. It's the setter who will mark this, who set the exam paper, he will mark. So I'm not going to be a teacher who mark your paper. So if you write something that the teacher doesn't understand, then give you 0 lah, or minus marks accordingly long. So they won't give you benefit of the doubt just like that. And for students who use everything in pencil, that one also another gone case, right? Okay, now this one is only the cross-sectional area. Remember, cross-sectional area not only got one time, got the front,
The back.
okay, and the back. Right, so later I need to add my cross-section area 2 times. Now next I need to find the outline, the part by part. Okay, find it part by part. The first one, this portion over here, this is actually the whole rectangle, right? If I were to shade this correctly, this whole rectangle. So I should not highlight like that, I should write this way. So this area here will be 6 times 40. Then this one will be 15 times 40. Then you got something else times 40. You notice that all these need to multiply by 40. Either you can find that individually, or what we can do, we can trace out the outline of the whole object, over here, and then multiply it with 40, all the lateral surfaces. So this portion here is given by 15 cm. This is given by 6. This is given by 15. Question, is the 24 cm included on the surface?
No, that one is like,
No.
that's just for our visualization.
Yes, correct.
It's not
So
there.
it's not included, it's being merged together. So what is exactly on the surface? The arc length here is on the surface, the arc length, or rather I'll call it half of the circumference. So this one is half of the pi d circumference, pi times diameter, which is your 24. Okay, so what we can do, we can take all this length, area of my lateral faces. Okay, I can, yes, times 40. So I add all this, I can have 15 plus 6 plus 15 plus your half pi 24. Everything I multiply by 40. I get one number. Then my total surface area, what do I need to do? Total surface area,
Times
I need to take this number. I've forgotten what is this number already. Anyone help me calculate this number? Yeah, never mind lah. So you know what is this number, right? You take this number, what else must I do? I add the 42.1.19 2 times the front and the back. Then I get my total area. Okay, so this one you're going to calculate the number on your own. Okay, but final question, do I write the answer in 3 civic, 5 SF, whatever? Working 5 SF. But now the question says correct to 2 decimal places. So your final answer should be in 2 decimal places and not 3 civic. Okay, read the question. Next one, find the volume of the solid, giving your answer correct to 4 significant figure again. So this one over here, volume, take the cross-sectional area, which is 421.19, multiply by the whole length, which is 40, then you get your answer. 4 6 feet, 1 2 3 4, round up, 1 6 8 5. Is that all? No, got one more.
No, need to write the unit.
Yes, okay, cm cube. Now, just a word of caution to double check things again. Do you know how to convert meter to cm, cm to meter? Most of you know, but do you know how to convert cm cube to meter cube? This one will be
Divided by 100 cube.
correct. Okay, do you know how to convert cm square to meter square?
The same thing, but 100 square.
Yes, okay. So these are some of the common things you must take note of. 1 liter is 1000 ml, which is 1000 cm cube. Okay, water. Okay, last few questions already. bear with me for a while. Okay, next one, an open container of cm cube to liter. So cm cube to liter, okay, wait, give me a minute. Let me go back to my previous page. Cm cube to liter, 1 cm cube. 1 liter is equals to 1000 ml. 1 ml is equals to 1 cm cube. Okay, so you must know this one standard. Okay, so 1 liter is equals to 1000 cm cube. Next one. Okay, now this container here, this is actually not a trick question, it's just logical thinking question. You need to observe and think very logically over here. Okay, the height, find the height of water in the container if you pour 660 cm cube. What do we have? We have from the bottom, when you pour it, water comes up from the bottom, right? So this portion over here, what happened? So this portion over here, my length is already 6. The length here is already 6 cm. This length here is 10, but I do not know how much, where will the water level be? If the water level is caught in between, then I need to check. So in this case, this thing, I need to check this volume for the lower part, lower portion. Okay, this portion here is 10 times 6 times the height here is 10 cm. This is already 600 cm cube. That means the remaining amount, 660 minus 600, the remaining 60 cm cube, either it covers exactly until the solid or it's halfway in between the solid. Of course, it's going to be halfway in between. But how do I double check and then make sure? What do I need to do? Let's take a closer look at this portion. This part over here, the whole thing is 6. So this portion over here will be left with 2 cm. This is the 2 cm that is being blocked up. So this one is already being blocked. Okay, so this one blocked already, cannot contain any more water. Then I have another additional 2 cm. So technically speaking, I can fill for my length over here 4 cm of water. And then I have a full length of 10 cm of water. Then I do not know where is the height, this portion of my height. Okay, what do I like to do? I let it be h. So in this case, 4 times 10 times this small portion of height must be containing the 60 cm cube of water. You work backwards, you divide away by 40, you'll get your x, the height over that portion to be 1.5 cm. But remember, we already filled up 10 cm of water. So the total height of the water is equal to the, yes, correct, 11.5 cm. So please remember to include it back. Okay. All right, okay, last question for the day. This question is the most complicated question of all, involving financial transactions and distance, speed, time, and rate. Okay, the other day I was talking about tables, rate, and whichever, right? So this question, there are a lot of tricks, small tricks inside. Please read together with me and pay attention along the way. Okay, the question say first kilometer, correct? They have a flag down charges, can be either normal taxi or limo taxi. Then after that, it says every 400. What is the units here? Hello?
Meter.
Yes, this is in meters. So I told you already, right? The examiner like to test this kind of question where you need to change units or whichever. And not only that, there is a second trap. It say up to 10 kilometers. Down here, some students may not understand what does this mean. They may think, oh, I take I may take 10 kilometer, I divide by the 0.4 whichever. No, where did my first 1 kilometer go here? My first 1 kilometer is here. That means this second portion is from my 1 kilometer until my 10 kilometer. So technically speaking, how many kilometers are there here that is counted under this rate?
9.
Yes, maximum of only 9 kilometers. Maximum of only 9 kilometers. I shall rewrite it, explain and rewrite this again. So this is actually 9 kilometer maximum. After that, you exceed anything more than 10 or more. More than 10 already. No, should not be 10 or more, should be more than 10. Anything more than 10, then it's under this category of 350. Again, this unit is meters, and then this one is kilometer. Okay, so then you have booking fee lah, whatever meter fee, surcharge, administrative fee. This administrative fee, you have to count it the last because it's 10% of the total taxi fare. So you must count the taxi fare first, including your meter charges if you have the peak period. Then you count the administration fee. The process is different. So before and after need to take note. Okay, now with that, let's begin with our first question. She took a normal taxi. So this is the normal taxi. Okay, the estimated distance is 16 kilometers. And then use the credit card to pay, blah, blah. First thing, let's begin with our 16 kilometers. How should I write this?
16 kilometers divided into that.
I shall split it out. Yes, correct. For the 16 kilometers, for my first kilometer, the first 1 kilometer, what is my charges? My flat down rate is $3. Okay, I don't want to draw arrow like that. I say I pay $3. Okay, then 16 kilometer means I must have a second part, right? From my second kilometer, which is more than one, the next 9 kilometers, okay? 9 kilometers from up to 10. Okay, what do? I pay a rate of every 400 meter. So I need to take my 9 kilometers, I need to divide it by how many 400 meters do I have? 400 meters, 0.4 kilometer. I change everything to kilometer. I need to find how many number of 400 meters are there. So I divide by 0.4 kilometers. That number itself, I multiply with a charge rate of 0.23 for my normal taxi fare. So this one, let me calculate. 9 divided by 0.4. You calculate what's the number?
5.175.
Correct. Thank you very much. Although this is talking about money, but it's not my final answer, so I shall not round it off yet. Okay, I'll leave it in terms maximum up to 5, 6 feet. Next one, then the 350 thereafter, all the remaining. So I got 1 and 9 got 10 kilometers already. I total got 16. So I left with the 6 kilometer remaining 6 kilometer. So the remaining 6 kilometer I'm paying 300 every 350 meters. So I'll convert this to 0.35. I'll need to calculate how many of the 0.35 are there, right? Then I multiply with the rate 0.118 here. Okay, let me find what is this answer. Oh, somebody went off. Okay, let me find what's this answer. 0.18. I got my answer 3.8. 3.0. Okay, this one quite a long number, so I round it off to 3.085. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 5, 7. Okay, so this one, then now I add up my subtotal of my charges because why? It's taking at the peak period. So let me find my subtotal charges itself will be 3 plus 5.157 plus the 3.0857. Remember, not the final answer, so you can work up to 3 accuracy of 5 significant figure. Then this one I'll get $11.2607, but I'm not going to round it to 2 DP yet. Okay, then now I'm going to calculate my surcharge, price after surcharge. Remember, write description. Okay, so in this case, surcharges is 25%, originally 100%. So I add another 25%, 125% of this number. Okay, so I'll calculate 125 over 100 times 11.2607. Why did I calculate? I pressed wrongly. Never mind, I copy my answer. 14.075 from my calculator. Okay, previous answer. Then after that, now I know the total taxi fare already. I'm going to count the admin fare price after.
I think it's 14.076.
76, huh? Is it?
Cause round to 5 6 feet. What? This is 14.0758.
058. Okay, can. Then 5, 6. Right? Then this one, the price after admin fee. Right? The admin fee 10% on top of everything. So it's 110% of the number. Okay, what do y'all get? My answer is 15.48 to 2 decimal places for money. Is that okay? So this question, let's read all the different small sub portions of it, all the details. Okay. Next question. Who's back here? Oh, Yao Ming got disconnected. Okay, next question over here. This person booked a limo taxi. Now we are going to look at the limo taxi. Limo taxi is under this column. Maybe I'll highlight it. Booked a limo taxi. So got booking fee, $10, okay? And then 0.9. Then the rates are different, 0.325 and 0.25, okay? So let me work backwards for this question. They asked me to find the total distance. So well, now I got $19.66. $19.66. First, I need to pay $10 for booking fee. Correct? Is that correct? Right, booking fee, right? Then for my first kilometer, I pay $3.90 for my first kilometer. Oops. Okay, so in this case, I have another $3.90 for first kilometer. So 1 km down here already. What is my remaining amount? I take $19.66 minus 10 minus $3.90. I'm left with the number $5.76. Then my question is $5.76. How do I know how much do I pay, or whether did it exceed the 10 kilometers or did not exceed the 10 kilometer? Something I need to check on my own. If this is 9 kilometers, this is 400 at a rate of 0.32. Let me check something. If I were to assume it is the maximum price that I can go to for 9 kilometers, I divide by 0.4 times a rate of 0.32. This portion itself will need to pay up to a total of $7.20. This amount here is lesser than $7.20. That means all this distance over here will be under the first 9 up to 10 kilometers, within that 9 kilometers. Okay, so if that is the case, I confirm that all the rates are under 0.32 already. What do I need to do? I need to take $5.76. I divide by 0.32, my rate first. So 5 divided by okay, this one is 18. That means I have 18 parts of 400 meters. I repeat, I have 18 components of 400 meters. So it will be 18 times 400 meters is 0.4 meters. That will give me 18 times 0.4 to be 7.2 kilometer. But not forgetting, so this portion I'm traveling for 7.2 kilometer. But what is the total distance that I traveled? I have my first 1 kilometer here, 7.2 kilometer here. So my total distance will be the first kilometer plus the 7.2 kilometer to give you 8.2 kilometers. Answer. Can? Last 2 questions. I know time have exceeded by a little bit. Okay, last part, question number C. Right? Part C. Now this one you need to really think of a little bit of the imagination. I must draw a little bit. Okay, for me, what I need to do when I talk about tunnel, this is my tunnel. Okay, that I travel, blah blah. But then this car is so long that it needs to get out of the tunnel, a limo taxi lah. So I don't know how long this limo taxi is. So when I want to have the car, if my car is inside, if I only calculate the distance from my tunnel, the car is still inside my tunnel. The car haven't passed out of my tunnel completely. So what I actually need to do, if I want to have it to move completely, the car completely out of my tunnel, I need to have this at this distance of my car here. What is this length of my car or the taxi? The length of my taxi here is 4.47 meters. You see the taxi is so long. Okay. Then I do not know what is this distance. I need to travel this distance. So what they tell me that this taxi passed through the first tunnel completely in 3 minutes. That means from this distance all the way until the car, including the length of the car, this distance, it took me 3 minutes. Then in between, there are some don't know distance I need to travel. Then I come across another second tunnel. Maybe slightly a little bit longer. I also don't know. Similar, same thing. My car need to get out the tunnel. It's all right. So my car need to get out of the tunnel. I again need to add in the distance for my limo taxi, which is another 4.47. Okay, for this portion. 47 kilometers. So that means they say, oh, they travel, they get out of the second, pass through the second tunnel completely in 4 minutes. So take 4 minutes to travel this whole distance, right? Then it passed through the 2 tunnels completely. So pass through these 2 tunnels completely in 8 minutes. What does that tells me here?
That one is 1 minute.
Correct. This one here is 1 minute. Then they ask me to find the distance between the 2 tunnels. That means I need to find this 1 minute. How much did he travel? What else must I add? I must add the 4.47 meters for the distance, the car itself, right? Okay, so in this case, what do I need to do? I need to find it in meters, minute. Hey, what is the speed that they gave me? They gave me
Kilometers per hour.
kilometers 1 hour. I want to change it to meters per minute. So this will be 66. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. 1 hour is how many minutes?
60 minutes.
60 minutes. So in this case, 66123 divided by 60 gives me 1100 kilometer per minute. Correct? So that's what it means. Oh, so 1 minute, within 1 minute itself, what is the distance that I travel? This one 110 kilometer per minute, right? So times 1. So this distance over here will be 110 meters. Not kilometer, meter. Can?
You have to
Then
add the 4.47.
Yes, correct. Then the total distance 1100 plus the 4.47 will give you your answer. Okay, 1104.47 answer. Do not round this off to 360 or whichever because this is the exact answer. Exact. No rounding of the numbers needed. Okay, last part of the question. A taxi has a fuel consumption of 3.8 liters per 100 kilometers, right? And then the petrol costs $2.54 per liter. Calculate correct to the nearest cent. Nearest cent means 2 dp. The petrol will cost for a journey of 128 kilometers. So I use proportion. 128 kilometers divide times. So 128 over 100 times 3.8. That will give me 4.864 of a liter. Exact. Okay. Then now each liter costs this price, so 4.864 times $2.54 cost. Then you get your answer. But they want the nearest cent, so it's 2 dp, so 12.35 for your answer. Any questions for this?
No.
Okay, no other questions really. The time is very late now. I should let you go off for your lesson. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm gonna die. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sure.
Yes.
You know what I thought? I thought they say pass through the 2 tunnel completely in 8 minutes. I thought they say first tunnel and the second tunnel they pass through then 8 minutes only.
Huh?
I
First
thought
tunnel and second tunnel?
yeah, I thought first tunnel and second tunnel pass through together, then total is 8 minutes.
No, because it need to travel. It comes out of the tunnel already. It says it passed through the tunnel and then pass through the second one. You need to travel a little bit. If the two tunnels join together, then there is only one tunnel where got two tunnels, correct? So there must be some distances in between the two tunnels, So for it to completely go through both the tunnels, so you need to travel the distance in between. So it's still 8 minutes.
All right.
Okay, yeah. If not 3 + 4 is 7 minutes. Cannot be 8 minutes also, correct?
Because
Yeah.
then I thought the distance between the 2 tunnel is 1 minute, because 8 minus.
Yeah, correct. It is 1 minute, but the 1 minute you need to go and find the what do you need to find? You need to go and find change the speed and then multiply it to the 1 minute. So you just need to change the speed to the meters per minute will do. So your idea is still correct lah. Okay, Ken. Okay, end of the lesson already. Bye.
Bye.
Madam,
Pack your bag. Yes.
is it soft copy or recording?
I will do the recording, yes, but I need to upload first. Then I'll send out this whatever that I've written now to the class chat group. Then you can look also for revision.
Okay, madam.
Okay,
thank
Ken. Bye-bye.
Good job.
Bye.